102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:35, and some rock and roll from Green Day at Rock 102.
Well, man, what a storm we had yesterday, and if you're not pre-digging underground tunnels for this weekend, or bubble wrapping the house, or putting chains on your boots to walk in the snow, you're gonna be in trouble. Mostly sunny today with a high of 35. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. Could see some significant snowfall over the weekend because we're in New England. It's 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
Man, what a show today. Today is going to be a great one. I'm feeling very confident about today's Open Line Friday, brought to you by Linton Septic.
Feeling confident about anything right now.
Well, Steve, you're coming in here with a dark cloud today, and I don't know what the hell that's all about. All I can tell you is open lines and comedian Marcus Monroe. He's going to be at the Roar Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow night for two hilarious comedy programs.
I'm more accurate than Dan Brown.
I don't know that.
I predicted I was coming in here with a big wad up my Yahoo.
And one of you was right.
That's right. That's right.
Also, we get Joe Bonamassa tickets on the way later on this morning, too. 5:36 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:49 and Dire Straits with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I don't even know why I bother giving you the forecast, but mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 35. Tomorrow, more of the same. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield. And then on Sunday, the worst snowstorm ever. You're going to need to protect yourself.
They should cancel everything for Sunday.
We should cancel the Super Bowl.
No.
Cancel the
That's
Super Bowl.
That's being played in New Orleans. It means I can cancel everything else so I can watch the Super Bowl.
The snow's going to go down there, too.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call Western Mass Masons for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Well, the average American believes they've watched their favorite movie 38 times, according to a new survey, which I know you can't get the thing in there right now.
Survey said!
Oh, there you go. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Hot Mike, I'm going to call you now.
2 days in a row?
2 days in a row, yeah. According to a new poll, which also asked to name people their favorite movie, the results, what do you think the number one favorite movie in the country is?
Oh, gee, I don't know. Is it, I don't know.
All right, I was going to say Debbie Does Dallas, but it's Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Please.
Followed by The Wizard of Oz, Titanic, The Lion King, and Dirty Dancing for the top five.
My favorite film isn't even in the top five.
Harry Potter rounds out the list at the 20.
Godfather doesn't show up there?
Godfather's number 10.
Oh, my God. What kind of society have we become?
What is that trend going around on TikTok? Since we're all going to die, I got to be honest with you, I did not like The Godfather. Hated it.
And yet I loved it.
Yeah. Also, the Forrest Gump, the Family Guy thing. Did you ever see that where Jenny is just like, there's just a series of cut scenes where she's like, hey, Forrest, I can't stick around. I'm going to go hang out and have sex with these Black Panthers. Hey, Forrest, I can't stick around. I got to go have sex with these Zionists or whatever they were. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, it's okay, Jenny. I'll mow the lawn and take care of the AIDS baby. No wonder why it's such America's favorite movie. Huh?
It's a heartwarming film.
Ozzy Osbourne will be hitting the stage for a final performance on July 5th, but as a solo artist and with Black Sabbath. Both as a solo artist and with Black Sabbath. But you're probably wondering how it'll go down considering his battle with Parkinson's disease on his Sirius XM. What is that? Sirius XM?
I think it's some sort of old-timey antique thing.
He has a radio show. I didn't even know that. He said, I have made it to 2020.
Well put.
Which translate to, I have made it to 2025. I can't walk, but you know what I was thinking over the holidays? For all my complaining, I'm still alive. I may be moaning that I can't walk, but I look down the road and there's people that didn't do half as much as me and didn't make it.
So will he be performing like in a chair?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, all right.
He's gonna have to. If he's this way now, come July, Isn't that a progressive degenerative disease?
Yeah. I don't know where he's going to be at that point from now, but things could get worse, I suppose.
Sharon did a press event with guitarist Tony Lamy and assured fans...
Iommi.
Whatever. I hear she's nice, though. And assured fans that Ozzy can still sing. It's not something you can stabilize. It affects different parts of the body, and it's affected his legs.
That is one of the best Tony Iommi impressions I've ever heard.
Well, she sounds like that. But his voice is as good as it's ever been. And then, actually, that was Sharon. Tony said, "Yeah, this will do him good to do the show. It really will. That's what it's all about. He wants to get out and do something."
That is the best Sharon Osbourne impersonation I've ever heard.
Listen, I'm the man of 1,000 voices.
You really are.
I'm like Manny Faces from He-Man, but with voices.
It's uncanny.
Kanye West is calling his new album Bully, and the reason is pretty interesting. It has to do with his 9-year-old son Saint, but maybe not in the way you'd expect. Kanye says, quote, "My son was playing with some kid and then he kicked him. I asked my son, why did you do that? He goes, 'cause he's weak. And I was like, this man is a real bully."
It's a good life lesson to...
praising your child for kicking the crap out of other people.
Nicely played.
Kanye is dropping Bully on June 15th, which is his daughter's Northwest's birthday. Oh, wow. For your daughter's birthday, you got a song dedicated to your son.
Yeah, well...
That makes you feel loved.
He's a wonderful family man. Did he get involved in any anti-Semitic conversations over the last couple of days? Because that's what you really hope for.
He's done with that.
Are you sure? I don't think he's quite through.
Well, when people start taking away his money again, then he'll start blaming Jewish people again.
He's a lot, man. He is a lot.
Well, he's a national treasure, is what he is, Bax. And I really think that you're kind of dismissing him as being more of an icon than what he really is.
I think he's been on the free Diddy bandwagon too, so I'm going to be dismissing him quite a lot.
By the way, are you a big Matthew McConaughey fan?
Am I?
Yeah. Hollywood icon Matthew McConaughey's incredibly awkward interview moment with an Australian journalist has gone viral. Apparently, the resurfaced clip was posted online, and by Matt Gala, who was interviewing the star back in 2021 for the release of the movie Sing 2. In the short clip, an assistant can be heard asking Gala to introduce himself and what publication he's from before asking his questions. The now 32-year-old begins by cheerily saying, "Hi, Matt," to which McConaughey's eyes visibly widen. There were a few seconds of awkward silence before the star puts his finger in the air and says, "Matthew, please." He doesn't like being called Matt. Little did Gala know there was an unspoken rule that you're not supposed to call him Matt.
Well, if it's unspoken rule, how's he supposed to know that?
Exactly. In a 27 interview with Jimmy Kimmel, the star explained that it's always been Matthew for a very good reason. "My mom was mad when I was called Matt. I was in kindergarten and my mom was the teacher. My buddy said, 'Hey, Matt, want to go play on the monkey bars?' I ran out and said, 'Yeah,' halfway to the monkey bars, I feel this hand on my shoulder and wham, I got slammed to the ground. I look up, it's my... he's got PTSD from when he was a kid for being
I see.
So we'll just keep calling you douche.
I'll call him Matthew because I don't want to get smacked around.
Matthew McDouchiki. Can we do that?
You'll probably answer to that.
And Kim Kardashian regrets not putting an area for the pee hole on her new lines of Skims undergarments.
Really? Just had something to say.
Oh my God, the last time I gave access to the pee hole was when Ray J went mud tipping in the stink wrinkle in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
Well, I never got that done and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but we did experience the whore Easter yesterday, and I had snowballs at the Creamy Beaver. Then I warmed up with a little bearded clam chowder.
Uh-huh. What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I ate the stinky batch of the froth cabbage. Did you ever have the stinky batch of the froth cabbage?
Yeah, but never had a second helping.
Well, you're missing out, my friend. You're missing out. And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102. Well...
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm Headquarters, before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, as you know, football is a rugged game. A game in which large, muscle-bound men take their rigidly masculine bodies and hurl themselves to either gain yardage or to attempt to thwart the advancement of others. To do this, the body must occasionally suffer nicks, dings, scrapes, bruises, fractures, sprains, and other forms of painful boo-boos. I think we can all agree that these things hurt. Sadly, there are times when a player may fake an injury, not because they are hurt, but to give his team an opportunity to enjoy an unofficial timeout while they receive medical attention. Next month, the NCAA Rules Committee will meet to discuss a number of proposals. One of these proposals is to prevent players from faking such injuries. Currently, if a player is hurt on the field, they must sit out at least one play before they can re-enter the game. This new proposal would prevent an injured player from re-entering the game until the next possession, thereby removing the immediate incentive for a player to fake an injury for the purpose of stopping the clock and delaying the game. According to the head of the American Football Coaches Association, who drafted this proposal, quote, "The AFCA cannot stand by and look at the unethical behavior of what we're doing in this aspect of our game." And you know what, folks? The man is absolutely right. College football needs to address this problem head on. That way it can more clearly enjoy all the other ethical benefits of college football, like name, image, likeness contracts, transfer protocols, and the healthy over-commercialization of the postseason bowl game schedule. But have a guy fake a leg cramp so his team can have a little strategic chit-chat, and now you're skirting around some real ethical problems. And as a fan, I am delighted that we're finally getting around to solving the real issues that are destroying the college game by dealing with fake boo-boos once and for all. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, your furnace has been working overtime lately, and it's time to change those filters. You want to go to Rocky's for basic pleated air filters. Buy 3, get 1 free. Are the mice moving in? Mouse traps are also on sale at Rocky's. The stuff you need around the house is available right now at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Springfield's classic rock. It's just 6:11. It sticks with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 34. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 35. There's going to be some wind maybe this afternoon. Tomorrow night, there's going to be a snowstorm, and you're going to have to bubble wrap the house to make sure that you're safe because I'm just practicing to be a meteorologist is what I'm trying to do.
Well, their job is to
be wrong 90% of the time.
No. Their job is to instill as much fear as they can possibly throw your way during weather situations such as what we saw yesterday.
And listen, I'm not dismissing what happened yesterday completely because there was some slippery travel on the way home. But by 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was fine, and it was totally unnecessary for me to cancel that show. And I was listening to too many people. I don't know, man. It's going to be bad, and we don't want to.
Steve, it takes one comedy fan to wrap their car around a telephone pole for it to ruin the fun for everybody.
Listen, you take your own risk. Even about a nice, beautiful summer night, if you came out there, it's not my responsibility if you go out and some nitwit crosses the line and smashes your head on. At least you got a good meal out of it for $20 before that happened.
Is that all you think about?
Your last meal was $20. Listen, at least he went out as a saver, as a thrifty shopper.
Yeah, I suppose so. But you know what? I mean, listen, that wasn't the only thing that was canceled yesterday. Lots of stuff was canceled.
Yeah, and unnecessarily, though, I think. I don't think, this jumping on the gun, at 5 o'clock at night, canceling school the night before. Why can't we just do this at 5 a.m. like you normally would do?
Well, Steve, sometimes you got to look at the big picture. Okay, if the meteorologist, let's say Lapis or Stremko, says to you, "Listen, there's going to be a lot of ice, especially in the afternoon, where everybody's going to try to go home."
Yeah.
If you're that guy listening to that kind of information, are you going to summarily dismiss it simply because it's coming from Lapis or Stremco?
This is how I character. First of all, the first day of meteorology school, there's a professor there going, it's okay if you're wrong, but if you just throw around a bunch of fancy words, everybody will forget by the next day.
Whatever you do, don't wear green in front of the green screen. Otherwise, it makes it look like your head's floating in midair.
Yeah, you don't want to look like you're floating in space around your regional area that you're reporting on.
Neutral earth tones look best against the chroma key.
Being a meteorologist is kind of like one of those parents that's like, Friday comes. A divorced parent, right?
Okay.
The guy who picks up his kids and says, you know what, little buddy? Next Friday, we're going to Disney World. And the kids get all excited. We're going to Disney World? Yeah, buddy, we're going to Disney World. You better get prepared. So for the entire week, everybody gets prepared, and they're all canceling their plans. And because they know that, who doesn't want to go to Disney World, right? I mean, Disney World is the happiest place on earth.
That's right.
Why wouldn't you want to go there? And then, but you haven't heard from Dad throughout the entire week, and you're really like, wait a minute. I know he said we were going to Disney World, but he hasn't indicated anything else by then. And then by the time Friday comes, all the kids are ready to go. And he goes, ready to go to Disney World, Dad? And Dad goes, no, I can't afford that. We're going to Billy B's for the afternoon. And it just becomes a big giant disappointment.
We're gonna go to Lake Compounds instead.
We're going to the No Frills amusement park. Think they still have that carousel at the mall? That's what we're going to put you on. I'll give you a little Mickey Mouse doll to go around with and pretend like you're at Disney World.
I'll sing It's a Small World after all while you guys go up and down a slide.
It's just like, I wish I had a job like that where I could just be inaccurate and nobody really even seems to hold anybody accountable for that.
Steve,
it's not an exact science.
Steve, you do have that job already.
I don't have that job.
We don't have to be accurate or correct.
We're not news people, though. I read the news. I'm not a journalist.
No, but
I'm just reading other things that people have written and then making fun of it.
Sure, but what I'm saying is the bar of expectation on our credibility is actually quite low, whereas the bar of expectation on a meteorologist, credibility, is also kind of low.
Is it really?
Well, I think we like to put some trust into their hands and say, well, they must know what they're talking about. They are meteorologists. But the reality is it's an inexact science, and it is often faulty and wrong because who knows how Chris Bazakis or Janice Brown gets into Mother Nature's head. I don't know how they do it. But when they're wrong, we say, I can't believe they're wrong. When they're wrong most of the time.
Yeah, but there
why do you put your faith in that?
Well, why is there so much emphasis on the weather then, if they're wrong most of the time?
Because people make the decisions in life often based upon the conditions outside. That's why I stay inside. That way the weather doesn't affect me in the least.
We're the first alert team. We told you that there was something that possibly was going to happen, and then it never did, but we at least told you about it.
Have you noticed that the most exciting part of like a Brian Lappis's day is when something is going on right now?
Yeah. Well, because
like when the storm has hit or the tornado has landed, whatever it is, then you get you can see like the gears turning in his head and his eyes start to bulge out.
That's like their Pornhub.
Yeah.
Is when they see stuff like that. They're like, ooh, a funnel cloud.
Right, but predicting that stuff is fraught with danger because they know they're either going to be right or they're going to be way off. But when it's happening at that moment, who do you go to?
Yeah.
You go to Lapis.
Because in a situation like that, as it's happening. Yeah, okay, they have the information because they can look out the window and see what's happening. This whole, Miss Cleo prediction thing. Child, I see a snowstorm in your future. And all you really did was pay $3.99 a minute for a crappy 1-900 number to find out that that was ever going to happen.
Have you noticed, and this is always something that's surprised me because it's, I remember John Quill quite well. Met him a number of times. Seemed like a perfectly nice man.
Yeah.
How many people will tell you Boy, all these weather guys are wrong, but not John Quill. John Quill was always right.
No, he wasn't.
John Quill had no computers. He had very few resources. All he had was like a whiteboard and some magnets.
Yeah.
And that's all he had to predict the weather. He wasn't more accurate than anybody else because actually the resources today make it easier to predict the weather. It's just the resources are not great.
I'm going to start a weather channel myself.
Steve Nagle, the weather nut?
Steve Nagle, well, no, I can't take it would be Steve Nagle's partly wrong with a chance of inaccurate. And I'll just show maps and go, uh-oh, look at this red area here. That doesn't look good. I don't know why red is predicting snow, but it's red here, and you're gonna want to prepare. You're gonna again dig the snow tunnels before the snow even happens. You have to prepare yourselves. You have to.
I know you're not always an alarmist, but it would be kind of interesting to see you do that job.
Yeah, fill your bathtub with snow.
Right.
So you can start. These are the things that I came up with this morning at 2:30 a.m. because I was really upset about it. This is when you're so upset you can't sleep. All right. Make sure that you get one of those do-it-yourself ski lifts in your yard because you have no idea what can be predicted here in New England.
Right.
Yell at the sky. That always helps.
Oh, I've done that.
Why, damn you, cloud!
When will you stop snowing?
You would have had a free ticket to the $20 dinner and a comedy show, but you lied to me. You know what? I'm going to train my dog to be one of those St. Bernards. And one of those St. Bernards that was on Looney Tunes that had the rum in his thing and then would go and find the frozen man.
Yeah.
And then make a martini for himself and then run away. That's the kind of dog that I have.
I always like that.
These are things that you need to prepare yourself. Wear night vision goggles.
You know what? That's important.
Because snow reduces your visibility.
It's true.
So you're going to need to see what's in front of you when you're out there throwing salt down.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear the night vision goggles in the daytime, though, because the light reflects off the snow and it'll blind you.
And then make sure you put on lots of sunscreen.
Yeah.
Before you cover up to go outside to shovel.
And that warning that you shouldn't drink alcohol to warm yourself up while you're outdoors, that's bogus. You should probably try to drink as much schnapps as you possibly can.
Cover your car in a heated blanket. That's a good idea. These are my tips. Listen, I could be a meteorologist too. But do you ever see these guys? I see these guys on TikTok all the time. They're like national weather people. It's not even just local people. There's this one goofy guy, and he comes on and it's all about, oh, you're not going to believe what's hitting the Northeast this week, and he's showing the map, and he's showing the horrible things that are going to be happening to the area, and that's what I was listening to the other day. One of those things I was like, all right, well, if national people are also saying it on top of local people, it must be going to be pretty bad. And here we are.
And it's not so
And we
bad.
had to cancel a show last night because of inaccurate information.
Well, there were other areas that got a good deal of ice and snow.
Here?
Well, I mean, there were parts of Springfield that weren't plowed right away. I know there are some people that are very angry about that.
Well, but that's a municipality problem. That's not the weather problem.
Well, there wouldn't be the municipality problem if there wasn't a weather problem.
And you know what? There's a DPW that doesn't even listen to the forecast. They're like, yeah, whatever. See, they're like me. They're like, whatever. We'll just get to it when we get to it.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
The DPW snowplows in Springfield, they have like 5 other trucks that don't function anything following the one snowplow that actually does clear everything out of the way.
Those are union vehicles.
Oh, yeah. Well, one's the steward, one's the secretary.
Right.
Yeah, you got to have everybody looking over you. Anyway.
It's 6:23 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Tom.
It's 6:25 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Dan Brown has the full forecast for you.
I'm sure what Dan's got in store for all of us is quite accurate. I'm sure of it.
I'm sure.
Hey, hell of a show today. Comedian Marcus Monroe is going to be at the Roar Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow night. Two great comedy shows. He's very, very funny. He'll be joining us after 7 o'clock on the phone. Also open line Friday after 8 o'clock. Your chance to join the show with an extraordinary lack of foul language or hate speech or dinkage. If we can avoid those things, we'll all be happy. That's brought to you by Linton Septic coming up after 8 o'clock.
All right.
And Joe Bonamassa tickets on the way, too.
Joe Bonamassa?
That's right.
What are you talking about?
There's a lot going on here in the show.
All right, you ready to laugh?
I'm ready to laugh.
All right, here we go.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
What do you call a meteorologist with an opinion?
I don't know, Steve. What do you call a meteorologist with an opinion?
Wrong. You're wrong.
You're writing jokes.
You're wrong about everything. Can't even keep their lives together. What are you going to predict the weather too?
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
6:30 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. It's time for news. It's brought to you by Yankee Home Improvement. Homeowners are saving big on windows and showers. Call Yankee Home today and don't miss out. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The speed limit on the Mass Pike has been reduced to 40 miles an hour during the snowstorm on Thursday. Okay, was it lifted?
I would think by now it's been lifted. The snow's been over for a while.
You can't even get accurate news from the news station. Why should we trust the meteorologist?
Because, Steve, that's what they're there for.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
there
are
to be
there to
inaccurate?
keep you on your toes. They're there to keep you wondering.
I don't know about that. Well, now maybe it's up to 45 now. Who knows?
It's probably back to its normal 85 miles an hour.
90, depending on how fast.
95, depending on where you're at.
A South Deerfield resident was arrested Tuesday afternoon for his alleged assault on a federal agent. The Department of Justice states that the alleged assault took place inside a South Deerfield apartment, a place agents believe to be the subject of a U.S. Capitol Police investigation, and where 25-year-old James Gerard Pepe III, Pepe Le Pew.
What happened to Pepe the Two?
A.K.A. Judith Pepe, also resided.
Okay.
Same person.
Oh, I see.
Agents filed a search warrant, and Pepe was told to sit in a kitchen chair unhandcuffed while searching the apartment. Allegedly, Pepe began to be visibly agitated and yelled profanity, insults, taunts, and threats at agents, as well as threatened to spit in the agent's face. Let me take you to the Casbah as I spit all over your face.
Haktua.
My little Petunia. Have you heard of the Haktua girl?
Spit on that thing.
The Pepe continued to be agitated and aggressive after the agents gave him a warning. Pepe was then placed in handcuffs while then being escorted out of the apartment. Pepe allegedly spit in the face and eye of an agent. The arrest followed an initial appearance in federal court in Springfield and was released on conditions. The charge of assaulting a federal officer is a sentence of up to 8 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. How do they charge the right person?
I have no idea. Poor Pepe.
I miss those cartoons. I really
The Pepe
do.
Le Pew?
All those Looney Tunes. And you can find them on HBO.
Yeah, but are they the old ones, though? Because there was like a space of like in the 1970s when they started to really lose their quality. Like those ones from like the 40s, 50s, and 60s were pretty strong.
Oh, yeah. They still have all the racial connotations and everything. in them.
Great.
That's what you want.
All the gratuitous violence that you expected from cartoons.
You want to enjoy all of that stuff.
Today's kids have no understanding of how great those things were. They want to watch things like Bluey and Baby Shark. But you put me in front. You put the 5-year-old me in front of, say, like Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Looking at blast woodland creatures with his gun. I'm into it. At 5 years old.
We had that conversation with Paul Lambert last week about because they did a Looney Tunes show last year, and we were talking about how a lot of us learned our music and pop culture because of those Looney Tunes cartoons. Like I had no idea what the Blue Danube was until Elmer Fudd called it the Blue Danwoob, and did the whole, they did the whole symphony along with the cartoon going along.
If it weren't for Bugs Bunny,
yeah,
I wouldn't know anything about the Barber of Seville. I wouldn't know anything about walk into my shop, let me cut your mop.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, there was some funny stuff going on.
Perhaps it was very educational.
Open Sesame. Remember the word? They went to. This isn't Pismo Beach, and he'd go into the tomb and he'd find the treasure and all that other stuff. And then Daffy was with Bugs.
I've always been afraid to go to Albuquerque because I'd always afraid to take the wrong turn there.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, there was some good quality cartoons coming out of that thing.
The very best.
They never had when did those special episodes start? Was that a 1970s thing?
Yeah, I would say like later 70s, early 80s, it really started to turn.
Yeah, I can't see Bugs Bunny coming on and going, listen, kids, I got to talk to you about that creeper in your neighborhood in the van. You want to stay away from him.
Don't take a ride with a guy who has lost his puppy dog.
Right. Speaking of old TV shows, what I saw the other day on TikTok was the episode of What's Happening where Raj got a chance to interview the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rerun was they were being hired by these two street thugs to go and bootleg the concert on a tape recorder.
And Rerun's dancing and the tape recorder falls out of his big long coat.
Right. But yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that was and then they had a big life lesson about bootlegging concerts.
This is to show how what impact that episode had on me as a kid as I'm watching it. Because I'm watching it first run back then.
Not a rerun.
Not a rerun.
You watched Rerun first run.
The day it came out.
Right.
I remember. The line of the show is, which doobie you be? That's like, man, that was, they don't get much better than that.
Because he called the hotel to talk to the Doobie Brothers.
Right.
And that was the clip. That was the exact clip.
Which doobie you be?
Which doobie you be?
Hilarious.
Yeah, and Dee, she had a mouth on her.
Dee was a wisecracking little kid, wasn't she?
I want my brother Roger to interview you. Yeah, she was like making all the calls.
I will say that the late Shirley Hemphill was one of the nicest people I've ever met.
She played
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
At Rob's place.
Right.
She was an absolutely lovely woman.
Really?
Yes. Very, very nice.
Isn't it funny how people can be like the worst in movies and TV, and they have the attitude, and then they wind up being the nicest people around?
I know.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer had some very, very nice personal qualities.
Oh, wasn't it? I think it was George Carlin who was like, Attila the Hun led an active lifestyle. Different ways to characterize people throughout history.
Exactly.
To get a better look at road conditions in some of the more hazardous areas of Western Mass, Western Mass News spent the day in Chester and the Hill Towns.
Was this like a field trip they all went on?
It was definitely a slippery ride up there.
Chester.
As we got into higher elevation, it got colder. We even had the defrost on full blast, but it wasn't keeping the windshield of our news car from freezing up. Whoa!
This just in, we have an eighth of a tank of gas left. We were going to have to pull over and fill up.
Yeah,
we'll have film at 11.
Once we finally made it up over those hills, we spoke to the Chester Highway Superintendent Chip Dezell, and he said that the type of snow we saw today on top of the ice left over from the last storm is making for some very slippery conditions. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about.
They needed to contact that guy to determine that information?
I know that guy pretty well. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He said there's been a lot of ambulance calls and a lot of people slipping on ice. People come out of their driveways, forget there's ice, and then they slide. He said they've treated the roads, but there are still patches of ice. So he's warning everyone to go slow and take it easy while driving. However, Dezell says for the most part, the main roads are in pretty good shape. But of course, being in the hill towns, Their biggest challenge is the hills.
The man is suggesting, think about this, that the main roads of Chester are in good shape. Is there a main road in Chester?
There's one. It's Route 20. Route 20 is a pretty main road that goes from one end of the state to the other.
Sure, I know that.
Yeah. There's another main road that goes from Chester to wherever other points north.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's Chester's responsibility to clear.
Yeah. Another issue Chip told the Western Mass News comes up in recent years is GPS taking drivers off the beaten path. I have to agree with him on that. There was one time I was going, this was years ago, I was going to meet a couple for like a wedding thing. I was doing like they're DJing their wedding.
Right.
And they lived up in Chesterfield. Now, I'm only like 15, 20 minutes from Chesterfield. But I still didn't know how to get there because I've never been that way.
There's no reason to go to Chesterfield.
And I used the GPS, and it showed this road, and I went down this road, and it was during a snowstorm, an unpredicted snowstorm by another meteorologist.
Right.
And as I'm driving down this road, the road is getting more narrow, and I realize this is a dirt road. This is not a real road. Yeah, this is like one of those.
There's one of them paper roads that never actually built.
Yeah, like the road was so old, even that sign that said only open May through October had been run over probably several times. And I realized, oh my God, I'm going to die out here in the woods of Worthington because that's exactly where I was. I was in Worthington somewhere, and I had to back out. You know how scary that is, backing down?
Backing out?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the map shows that the road did connect eventually to the other part of Route 143 in Chesterfield, but it wasn't a travel
Did you have to cross any waterways or like a brook or a stream or anything?
No, but I almost fell into one.
Your GPS is a jerk.
Now, this was years ago. This was like when the GPS wasn't even like this was like an external GPS that you had to have because they were on sale at Circuit City for $89 at the time. That was a deal.
It's money well spent.
Talking about money well spent, Applebee's announced yesterday it's bringing back the coveted date night pass, which went viral on social media during its debut last year.
I believe it's pronounced debut.
Have you ever eaten at an Applebee's?
It does taste more like a debut.
Debut than it does taste like a debut. This year, the chain is offering 3,000 passes that will be exclusively available to Club Applebee's members. On Valentine's Day, 3,000 randomly selected members will receive an email notifying them that they've been randomly selected to purchase a date night pass. Those interested in the pass must be Club Applebee's members. Oh, man, that's like next to your Marriott Bonvoy. Your Southwest A-lister.
I'm going to have to put that on the resume, too.
Yeah, you talk about a knight in shining idiocy. Well, I just met this man. What are the benefits about him? Well, he's a Southwest A-lister. He's also a Marriott Bonvoy member. And get this, I just found out he's a Club Applebee member. Girl, you done hit the jackpot.
You know, I can't think of a better way to show the lady you love how much you care than by bringing her to a romantic night away at Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
That's right.
For those just signing up, your welcome email will include an option to register for a chance to purchase one date night pass. This time around, the pass will cost $100, allowing cardholders to get up to $50 off food and non-alcoholic beverages once a month for the next year.
That sounds like a threat.
I know, yeah.
Wait a minute, this is something I got to buy into?
Hey, listen, and you get a free diarrhea with every visit.
Well, now you're sweetening the pot.
Passes will be redeemable for 12 visits between March 1st, 2025 and February 28th of 2026. By the time the pass expires, members would have saved $500, according to the company.
You know, you could save a hell of a lot more than that by not going there.
Yeah, well, unless you're really into Dollarita night. I mean, that's not covered on the pass because it's only non-alcoholic beverages. But think about that.
Yeah,
you get $50 worth of free food, and for $20, you can get hammered in an Applebee's.
Could you order a virgin Dollarita, then like add your own booze to it?
Hey, you know, You're onto something here.
I know how these things work, Steve.
yeah.
I'm not new in town.
You were the guy that used to bring a fifth of vodka with you into a strip club, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe.
And just order a $9 soda.
Would you like to buy the lady a drink? Yes, she'll have a soft drink, please.
Yes, soft drink, a Mountain Dew, perhaps.
Some ice water and some napkins. Make it a double.
Last year, the demand for the pass was so high that the restaurant's website temporarily crashed and passes sold out in 1 minute.
They sold as many as 4.
You got a better chance of winning the Mega Millions than you do getting the $100 pass from the Applebee's date night.
That's like a Mavis Wanzik type of win.
Wow, listen, it would work for me. He pulled up in his minivan and he said, hop in, let's rotate these tires and go to Applebee's. We'll go to a PTA meeting later in the day.
I'll tell you what. After dinner, I'll buy you something nice at Five Below.
Ooh, big spender because nothing is under $5 there anymore. You ever notice that at a Five Below?
I haven't been to one in a long time.
It's like $5.55. Like they've done that now.
That's an outrage. Time to change the sign.
It should be 10 below is what it should be.
Still a bargain no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, but it's like the Dollar Tree still or the dollar store still calling themselves the dollar store. Nothing. It's $1.25 now.
Look at the Dollar General. The Dollar General is running a whole paramilitary organization, all based on one form of currency. You can't find anything in a Dollar General.
You have to salute a Dollar General when you see him. There's like other military members, because if you're in a military, you're supposed to stand at attention and salute a general when they walk in the room.
You should see what happens when there's a snap inspection of a Dollar General.
What's your major malfunction, soldier? Do you want $5 off a coupon for next weekend?
No poor bastard ever save $5 at a time in aisle 5.
Where you've had your hands in the guts of your soldier at a Dollar Tree. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, which is going to be wrong, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 34. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 35. It'll be windy. Whatever. Go get your inaccurate information from a meteorologist.
Open a window.
It's 32 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Springfield's classic.
Your winter group on Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast. It's 32 in downtown Springfield.
Hey, tonight, let's all get together and have some fun. Free Music Friday is back, and tonight it's going to be Gold Dust, New England's premier Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty tribute band. I know, Steve, you're going to be sadly unable to be there, but I'm going to be there having a hell of a time between 6:30 and 8:30. It's at the Aria Ballroom. That's on the second floor. You go up to where the movie theaters are. You bang a right at the end of the escalator, turn around, zip back, boom, there you're there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Stop by the Rock 102 table for your chance to win some pretty dope prizes. That's tonight, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Aria Ballroom at MGM. It's Free Music Friday with me and the road crew on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Maybe I'll go there and boo.
No,
the Tom Petty tribute.
Don't boo them. They're just there having a good time, trying to make some great music, celebrating the catalog of Tom Petty and Fleetwood Mac at the same time.
There was I think, let's see. This is bleeped. We can play this, okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah, storms in southern Oregon caused power outages this week, and a little kid drops a really hard F-bomb while talking to a reporter about it. He looks like he's maybe 11 or 12. You got to listen to this.
When me and my sister were playing cars, all we heard was like a big boom, and then we just were shook, and we didn't know what happened, so we went outside, and we were like, oh, there's a fire. And then I went to go grab my dad's fire extinguisher and gave it to him. Someone called the cops and the fire department, and that's all I heard.
The best part was the reporter didn't even, flinch. She just, was like, I don't even think she was listening to what he said. Because she looked like one of those young, reporters that wasn't really experienced to be out. It's probably one of her first live shots that she's doing.
Right.
But I'm really surprised they didn't even cut the transmission, too.
I think when you're doing this live, was this a live interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when it's live, there's not much you can do on the, on the fly. I mean, here in radio, we got a button that not only cuts that audio, it also sends I believe, a bolt of energy through your phone that zaps you across the room. So you don't want to be swearing on the show.
See, but that only works for the on-air stuff.
Yeah.
If you were listening online, we're not regulated the same way we are by the FCC during the broadcast. So if somebody, we've had it happen before where somebody drops a swear word or something like that, and then you push the button. The people listening in their car radio will not hear it, but the people listening online will hear it because it's just direct feed. It's not. There's two different feeds going on. And who cares if you hear it on the internet? I mean, you've heard worse things on the internet than a swear word.
Listen, in regular conversation, you don't even need electronic devices to hear those kinds of words.
No. I mean
that young man probably should have his mouth washed out with soap, but listen, that's between him and his parents.
Is that so? Him and his parents. That's
or his legal guardian.
No, I think the kid's a little go-getter.
I think the kid's a potty mouth little snot. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what you think. But think about all the things that these kids grow up with, and all the the music and the pop culture, and maybe the kid doesn't even have parents. You ever think about that? Maybe he's an orphan. Does that give him the right to stain an FCC licensed broadcast signal like this? I ask you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
I'm not going to argue with that.
But I thought that was pretty damn funny.
That is funny.
A little kid like that, he's going places.
Every now and then, I love watching the videos, and I'm sure many of them are fake, where some guy on the street will bulldoze his way into a live microphone and say something that's absolutely disgusting on live television.
Yeah.
I think that's hysterical.
There was a guy.
I don't recommend it. I'm just saying I think it's hysterical.
I thought it was real for a couple of videos, and then I realized, wait a minute, this is fake. It's the guy who grabs the mic, and says the F her,
and the whatnot, right,
in the cat,
yes, right,
that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the first couple of times I saw it looked pretty genuine. But then I noticed the cryon was you could tell it was kind of photoshopped, and I'm like, it's fake, but it's still funny nonetheless.
It's still funny, but it doesn't happen very often, and that's why live shots are usually done without a whole lot of people around.
Oh, that's why they have them out at 4:00 in the morning outside of an empty courthouse, waiting for the snow to come down.
Right. Yeah. If they do it in the middle of the day, most of those stories are pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Because they're not live.
And you see the people walking around in the background.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't want them on camera.
A little sketchy job, that
that's
is.
Right.
It's 6:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Call or text us.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 7:10. And Ozzy with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Partly bullshizzing it with a chance of probably nothing. It's 32 in downtown Springfield.
Hey, a couple of great comedy shows coming to the Roar Comedy Club in Springfield at MGM this weekend, tonight and tomorrow night. Two hilarious shows with the comedian Marcus Monroe.
Oh, yes. The guy who goes on the subway and does those videos of dressing up like Jesus and a tooth and all those other things.
He does all of that and more, and he's on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Marcus. How are you?
Oh, is this a Tom Petty fan club?
Oh, yes, it is. It is the Tom. No, actually, I'm the one that doesn't like the Tom Petty.
Okay, That's all right.
Are you a Tom Petty fan?
I could take him or leave him.
Yeah, that's how most people feel.
I was going to say, if you liked him, this interview would be over.
Hell yeah! No, I did my research.
All right. Hey, listen.
I'll tell you what. I give you credit for that. Most comics and guests do everything they can to avoid trying to find out what the show is all about.
No, I feel like if you guys are taking the time to get to know me, I should take some time to get to know who you guys are,
Well, that's where I was going to say I have a little egg on my face this morning because I had all these insane posse questions about you and our insane clown posse questions for you, and I realized on your Wikipedia page, it's not juggalo, it's juggler.
Right.
Yeah.
A little mix up there.
I had all these questions to ask about the fan club because I'm a huge insane clown posse.
We could talk about ICP if you want. I mean, I've never been to the what is it? The Gathering.
It's something like that. Yeah. Listen, I don't know anything about them either. I just I do my research 2 minutes before we go on for the interview.
Yeah, dude, he did more research on you than you did
I know,
on him.
Isn't that crazy?
That's not right.
That's crazy. So
I love it.
So you're coming to Aurora MGM this weekend, and are you familiar with the New England area?
I mean, I've done a little bit of shows a few shows in Boston, but that's pretty much it. So I haven't been to Springfield ever. I'm excited.
Now you're originally from Milwaukee, if I got that right, correct?
That's right. Yeah. I moved out though. I moved to New York about 20 years ago, but I did grow up in Wisconsin.
Ah, okay. Because I lived in Milwaukee for 11 years of my life. So
Oh, really? Doing radio?
Doing radio. Worked for 2 radio stations out there, and then came here.
He's one of those snobs that went to Marquette.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
Was
Was it fun?
Listen, this is before, so back in my day, Marquette didn't own the entire neighborhood, but bars did, and so that's when Marquette was a lot of fun back in the 80s.
That's what I hear. I have friends that went there, and they talk about the glory days being back in the 80s and 90s.
You know what? It's absolutely true. I mean, it was a wonderful time to go to school, not learn anything, a great place to black out.
Yeah.
So were you going to Marquette during the whole Jeffrey Dahmer situation?
Dude, he was
let me
on
tell
a
you-
bowling team with that guy.
Let me tell you something. So
Wait, what?
No, I lived. Okay, so Jeffrey Dahmer. So you know the city, right? Mm-hmm. All right, everybody listening, do something else. I'm going to be talking to Marcus here for a second. He lived. That apartment was on 25th and Kilbourne. I lived on 20th and Kilbourne. We were 5 blocks away. Dude, I'm not lying to you. Now, we didn't hang out in the same places. We had different interests. He liked much smaller portions. But yes, he was. We were practically next door neighbors.
Much smaller portions.
But it's absolutely true. That was
easy.
Yeah, I know. But it's like it was a period of unforgettable time. That's for sure.
Did you ever have an interaction with somebody who later murdered many people, or at least murdered someone?
I never have.
Yeah.
No, I never have. I try to keep a clean record.
But he is planning on murdering the room Friday and Saturday night at the Roar Comedy Club here in Springfield.
That's right. I'm so excited. If you're on the fence about seeing the show, I will say I talk a lot about my life. I married a woman 15 years older than me. I've got a stepdaughter my age. I have 2 grandkids. I'm in my 30s. I'm on the no-fly list. Like you guys said, I used to be a professional juggler. But now most people know me probably from my Subway videos where I try to do stand-up in the Subway in New York City as different characters.
So I've seen those.
Yeah, we've seen those.
I've seen those. And you would think that a Subway would be a hard room to work. I don't know if it's a matter of the material. Really? I think it might be when you're trying to do comedy as Jesus on a Subway. You got to know the room, dude. You just got to know.
Dang it. Oh, you think it could be me?
I don't know. I think the material. I think the material was spot on. I'm just not sure that the audience was ready for great comedy from Jesus.
I just didn't have an opener for that set. I think that was the issue.
Well, I got to ask you, when you go and do obviously, you're doing this for clout, I guess, if you will.
Well, you're working on some new material.
Working on new material.
I'm doing it to sell tickets. I don't care about getting popular, but I just want people to know I exist. And then people click on my profile like, oh, this guy tours. Let's see what his live show is like.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's a great marketing tool. I'm just wondering, I could never get the ball. I do stand-up too, but I could never get the balls to go up and just start doing comedy right in the middle. I mean, I've been to an Elks Club before, which is kind of similar, but I've never had the balls to get up and just do something spontaneously like that. Is that uncomfortable at all?
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it so much. I hate doing it. That's why I do 3 characters in a day when I have filming days.
Yeah.
I'll do 3 completely different characters in one filming day just so I get it over with, so I don't have to do it for a while. And then I usually get like close to a month worth of like clips from that one day.
Now,
so it's pretty good.
So what character has worked the best, and what character needs to be workshopped a little bit more in the open mics?
That's a great question. Yeah, great question. So the ones that work the best are like the really ridiculous characters, or like the objects, like when I was a tooth or a foot, or most recently, even I posted a centaur video today where I was half man, half horse.
Yeah.
And that one, I would say it was really fun to do, but I got in a lot of people's way because I have this giant horse body. It's like life size.
Yeah.
And like I'm in rush hour on the train, and I'm just like, I need to do good. I need to get in this crowded train to tell my jokes. And people are just like, "What are you doing? It's 5:30. We had a long day. We're trying to get home." And I'm like, "Yeah, but wait to listen to my dad jokes."
Yeah.
People. That one did well. The Grinch, of course, Satan on the Train did pretty good. I would say the ones that need a little, like the rapper could have used another like pass through at writing some of the jokes. The white rapper.
That one did seem a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, the cornrows in my hair, and that was. I didn't love that so much.
Well, listen, you can't. You don't know unless you try.
That's right, man. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I always thought that like the transit authority shows I thought were always very popular.
Yeah, the Showtime dancers.
Could be the dancers. Could be a guy with a banjo in the subway. They'll get a crowd. Right. They'll get a couple of bucks. Are these money making opportunities? Do you have the can or the hat while you're doing it sometime?
I don't really have the can or the hat. Although when I was the tooth, I would dressed up as this giant tooth and did jokes with a giant toothbrush. I had this one train ride and nothing was going right, so I kind of like had a fake temper tantrum on the train. And then after that, I was on I got off the train. It was just like collecting myself, but it was all in fun. And people handed me $30. I was just like standing there, not even doing anything, and people felt bad for me because I thought I was serious. I got $30. That's the most I've ever made doing any of this subway stuff. I never asked for money. I just feel bad, like I'm bothering people. I just hate that. I think I'm from Wisconsin. I don't like confrontation. I'm too nice. So I just like, sorry everyone. I'm so sorry. I hope you're doing good. Sorry.
See, that's what makes it even better. That you're a guy that doesn't want to be a burden on people. Yet you came up with a great scam to get $30 from patrons on the train.
$30 made my day. Actually, I was like, wow, I could really just do this, just like not even film it, just do it, just for fun.
Well, I was going to say, no matter how you fail on a train, at least you're not a guitar act.
True.
Could be worse.
Are guitar acts on the train, are they viewed the same way as they are at like a comedy club?
I think so, yeah. It depends on what they're playing, but I think 9 out of 10 times it's nothing that anybody wants to hear.
Yeah. See, I really enjoy like a prop act or like a guitar act sometimes because they're so different. And when you have to like take a bunch of props with you to a show, like that, I kind of feel bad for you, so because I had to do that for so long when I was doing juggling shows, so like I kind of feel for them.
So you don't do any juggling now during the show?
Not really, no. Like if people want to see me juggle, I'll definitely juggle like some beer bottles or something.
Yeah.
But if you're going to see me do stand-up, it's pretty much just a stand-up show at this point. There was a little crossover where I'd go to like a comedy show and start juggling when when I was like transitioning into full-time stand-up. But when you're at a comedy show and you find out there's going to be like a juggler at a comedy show, it's a lot like when you find out your new favorite band has Christian undertones. Like you're okay with it, you just wish they would have let you know ahead of time.
Yeah,
so I don't like to surprise it on people. Like I don't like to just like, hey, now I'm going to juggle, and they're like, wait, what? What's this?
I really like this band, but they're a little too churchy.
Yeah, that happened. Switchfoot, the Killers. I had no idea. I was blindsided.
Well, everybody surprises you somehow, but I think a lot of people are looking forward to the show. Based on the videos that you do, I'm sure it's going to be a great time this weekend at Roar.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got Friday, Saturday night, Roar Comedy Club. I'm bringing a really good opener, too. A lot of people, the openers they bring are pretty mid, but this guy could be headlining on his own. He's one of my best friends here in New York. Ben Kirschenbaum is his name, and he's really funny. So you got two good comics from New York coming up to Springfield. It's going to be a great time. We're going to hang out with everyone after. I hope you guys can come. I know you're not, but you guys should. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
I go to the shows from time to time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Rudnitsky was there a couple of weeks ago. I went and saw him.
John is my buddy.
He's
so
great.
funny.
Wasn't he? He's a good act.
Love that guy. Funny guy. SNL. What a dude.
Well, if you can live up to those standards, I'll be at the show.
Dang it. Well, you're not coming.
Oh, man.
Marcus Monroe is going to be at the Roar Comedy Club Friday and Saturday night. Marcus, great to talk to you. Have a great time this weekend, and welcome to Springfield.
You too, fellas. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Marcus Monroe with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. 26 of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Dan Brown will have the inaccurate forecast for you in just a minute.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Dan.
Come on, he knows I'm kidding.
Dan does fine
He knows
work.
I'm kidding. He's kidding when he gives the forecast.
This week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest has been Tex Mosley from the band Neverland Ranch Davidians. They got a great new record that comes out today called Shout It on the Mountain. It is a lot of fun, and it's already getting a lot of notice. Played it last week on the Fun Bag. Little Steven from the Underground Garage has been on it for a while. That's now available on the podcast. On Monday, Hugo Burnham from the band Gang of Four. They are going on their final tour of North America. It begins in Boston at the Crystal Ballroom on April 20th. Hugo is not only a drummer for that band and has been since 1977, but he's also a professor at Endicott College in Beverly, Mass. So it's a really interesting conversation. I've had him on before. Check that out starting on Monday on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, and on the app. It's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. But you're going to be in Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
How drunk do you get on Super Bowl Sunday?
Survey said.
You're a Packers fan, right?
Yes.
Well, you're on the list, pal.
Of?
The drunkest fans on Super Bowl Sunday. Baltimore Ravens took the top spot, averaging 3.8 drinks during the game, so almost a drink per quarter. That's a lightweight.
That's a lightweight. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, these are on average, so. Raiders fans, 3.7.
It should be one drink per possession.
Giants fans, 3.6. Bills fans, also 3.6. A six-way tie for number 5. The Vikings, Jets, Cowboys, Packers, Bears, and Eagles fans at 3.5 drinks during the game.
I don't know where they're coming up with the stat, but anytime I have spent time watching the Super Bowl with other Packer fans, they're usually like 12 drinks deep before kickoff.
Let's do a shot here, okay? Is that more like a Canadian accent?
It's more Canadian.
Yeah. Let's do a shot here. All right, with the coin tosses, heads or tails, we'll take a shot.
Yeah, I tell you that's blackout drunk for Pack. And listen, they'll do more than 4 shots per half during like a preseason game.
Yeah.
They don't even need a game to actually go on.
I plan to get some lemon tea and some melatonin at 6, so I'm in bed by 7.
I plan on being in my pajamas by 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I was going to say, that's during the Puppy Bowl. You gotta
Right.
prepare yourself. Are you drinking during the Puppy Bowl?
I'm drinking out of a bowl.
Yeah,
during the
that's
Puppy
what I'm
Bowl.
saying. Chiefs fans tied for 11th at 3.4 drinks for the game. That's it?
What happened to everybody? What happened to the good old-fashioned active alcoholic that was going to go, full bore into this season?
Because I think if you're polling a bunch of alcoholics, they're always going to lie about how many drinks they've actually had. Believe me.
Well, that's what they'll tell you during the traffic stop. How many have you had? Only had 1 drink per quarter, officer.
Yeah, I only had how I used to make drinks. Remember, I'd pour the vodka all the way up to the top of the glass, and then a little Sprite for color, and maybe a lemon twist if we had one. And that's 1 drink.
Yeah.
Technically, if it's out of 1 container, it is 1 drink.
If you can fill a whole bottle with a big giant Yeti tumbler, then I would think that is one drink. Yes, you're right.
Think of it. You poll a bunch of alcoholics. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm only having 3.7 drinks per the game.
How many ounces of alcohol did you have?
428.
But I had it all at once.
Yeah, I was following that diet plan where the guy said you got to drink a gallon of water a day for 90 days, but I filled most of it with vodka. You know,
right? With a splash of water because you got to hydrate.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you might want to get one of those little hydrating sticks just to be on the safe side.
We got news next to Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass News First Alert Forecast.
7:33 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The Enfield Police Department is asking for the public's help in identifying a larceny suspect. The man pictured on their Facebook page was involved in a larceny at a local business in Enfield. He's wearing one of them, orange DOT jackets. But he doesn't look like he's associated with the DOT because they wear the yellow ones now. It looks like he's going to be deer hunting. I'm going deer hunting.
Usually when you're committing a larceny, don't you kind of want to wear things that make you blend into like the background a little bit? You don't like want to draw, like a blaze orange jacket is probably going to say, hey, there's a guy in the store wearing a blaze orange jacket.
Yeah.
Not to say that, a guy wearing blaze orange is committing a crime, but if you have committed a crime, I think you'd probably want to wear some breathable earth tones, the breathable fabrics, something that, is not too big or form-fitting, just something that's going to make you just blend into everything.
I don't know how that hunter orange doesn't scare the deer.
If I were a deer, that's what I'd be looking for.
They say deer are colorblind, I guess, so that's why they don't see colors.
Yes.
You got to be kidding me.
That they don't see colors?
How does anybody really know that they don't see colors?
Apparently science has been able to figure out what animals can and cannot see.
Well, if you have any information about the deer hunter, you're asked to contact Officer Wise from the Enfield Police. He's a very wise man.
Is he?
Yes.
Or is that just what he wants everyone to think?
Well, he's not only good about solving cases, but he's also good about giving advice. You know what? You should really change your oil within the next 3,000 miles.
Don't play with matches.
That's the bad thing. That's the bad one you do. Let's go down to Connecticut because they always have some good stuff down there. Well, the Connecticut news station does.
Sure.
Right? A man was charged with drunk driving after Connecticut State Police say they spotted him asleep in a vehicle parked along I-95 in Stonington. I guess if you're going to be stoned somewhere, it's going to be Stonington. Christian Gonzalez, 25 of East Haven, was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and illegal operation of a motor vehicle under suspension. The incident happened Thursday around 3:20 a.m. A trooper patrolled I-95 North when a vehicle was spotted parked on the shoulder near exit 91. State police said the trooper stopped to see if the driver needed help. The trooper reported finding the driver asleep in the driver's seat with the driver's side window rolled down. Given the time of day, the trooper illuminated the cabin of the vehicle with a handheld flashlight. Upon attempting to wake the male operator, the operator began using his hands to gently paw like a cat in the direction of the trooper, asking the light to be turned off. Meow, meow, meow. Turn the light off. It's hurting my eyes.
See, now, was he actually pawing it like a cat, or is he doing like what you would see in those Bugs Bunny cartoons? Turn off that light!
Turn off. The trooper noticed clear signs of impairment at that point. Oh, really? Is that what gave it away? When he started acting like a cat?
When he used the back seat as a box.
Yeah, that's when you really know you gotta
know.
You gotta change that out. By the way, Gary Rome Car Wash can clean that out for you if you ever need your cat box changed in the back of your car.
Well, that's why they're offering $5,000 for new technicians.
He has given a broadcast. He was given a standard field sobriety test, to which state police said he failed. All right, you little kitten, come on over here. If you can jump up in the air and land on your feet, you pass. Troopers noted that Gonzalez's license was under suspension and he had a prior DUI arrest.
Have you been on catnip tonight?
How much catnip have you been doing? Meow. He was arrested for without incident. Gonzalez was later released on custody on a $1,000 bond and scheduled to make a court appearance in New London on February 20th. I would have brought him to the animal shelter.
I don't know if the animal shelter has got a drunk tank.
Maybe he's one of them furries that likes to, dress up like a cat.
Is that so wrong?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you can be whatever you want to be, but I mean, take him to the proper holding tank.
He's not going to last in jail, I can tell you that much.
You imagine that.
Everyone's going to want to play with him, going to want to rub his belly.
Yeah, but they take you to there, you're passed out drunk, you wake up and your genitals are mutilated now because they had to neuter you.
Your head's being surrounded in a plastic cone.
Yeah, that's something else. The heist of 100,000 eggs from the back of a trailer in Pennsylvania has become a whodunit that police have yet to crack. See what they did there? 4 days after the theft that law enforcement say could be tied to the sky-high cost of eggs, no leads have come in. Trooper First Class Megan Frazier, a spokesperson for the Pennsylvania State Police, said on Wednesday, "We're relying on leads from people from the community, so we're hoping that somebody knows something, and they'll call us to give us some tips." Police are also following up with any possible witnesses and looking into surveillance footage that could help them identify the perpetrator as they race to solve the mystery. "In my career, I've never heard of 100,000 eggs being stolen. 100,000 eggs?
Nobody can eat 100,000 eggs.
This is definitely unique," said Fraser, who has a dozen years on the job. Who is writing these stories?
Now.
A baker's dozen or just a dozen?
Probably just a dozen.
Bird flu is forcing farmers to slaughter millions of chickens a month, pushing the U.S. egg prices to more than double their cost in the summer of 2023. And it appears there may be no relief in sight with Easter approaching. You got to think about Easter.
You know what? What are we going to do? We're going to have to hide different kinds of eggs?
You're going to have to. The average price of a dozen nationwide hit $4.15 in December. That's not as quite as high as the $4.82 record set 2 years ago, but the Agricultural Department predicts egg prices are going to soar another 20% this year. The 100,000 eggs that were snatched from the back of Pete and Jerry's Organics distribution trailer on Saturday at about 8:40 p.m. In Antrim Township, Pennsylvania. They're worth about $40,000, which means this is a felony.
So, and they don't have any suspects, right?
No.
So I think you have to pay attention to, someone who may show up at a doctor's office with extraordinarily high cholesterol and too much protein in their system.
I told you this story before when I worked on the choo-choos. There was you always had to take inventory. They had like a yard check, they call it, and you go out and you check the numbers. And then you have to make sure that if anything was missing, you'd have to report that to the company.
Right.
Well, it wasn't where I was working, but there was like an APB out for this trailer that had gone missing, and nobody could find it. Now, they're all unmarked. It's not like they tell you exactly what's in those containers. It's those containers that go on chassis after they come off the ship and all that stuff. And so nobody knows exactly what's in these things. Well, it turns out it was a bunch of maxi pads, like a whole trailer full of maxi pads.
Right.
And then they found this trailer about a month later, empty, in South Kearney, New Jersey. Right?
Really?
Yeah. And we speculated that, you know what, now I bet you on the streets of Chinatown, New York City, you're going to have some guy going, I got wings, I got no wings, I got all kinds of things. Like, because you think about heists and things like that.
Yeah.
I bet you this is like one of those organized crime hits. Hey, let's go out to Pennsylvania and let's knock over an egg trailer. We can make thousands of dollars off of these things.
Kind of the way like Chrissy brought that DVD player to Robert Loggia.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You kind of get an organized crime vibe to this thing, that somebody's going to be selling discount eggs on the street corner.
Meanwhile, Robert Loggia's got 100,000 eggs in his garage. You know the feds are going to bust into that.
You're like walking by some guy on a New York City street, and he's like, "Grade A. I got grade A's. I got brown. I got white. I got them all.
Hey.
I got them all. Extra large, jumbo, All here.
Brown eggs.
Yeah.
Local eggs, and local eggs are fresh.
$3 a dozen. $3. You could get a day. Hey, that's a deal.
You know what? If I'm out of eggs in my house. I got no eggs in my house.
Yeah.
If I have to go to the black market or to the egg-selling underworld, I'll do it. I will do it. And you can't stop me.
You know what? Just go to your local farm.
I can do that, too.
You can do that. There's a man in Malaysia who has started a business as a villain for hire. Basically, you pay him, he shows up and starts harassing your date, and then you can beat him up to play the hero.
You can?
Yeah.
Do you have a number for this guy?
He's 28 years old, who's advertising his service on Facebook, where all the top-notch, credible sources of information come from.
Sure.
He says he charges a reasonable fee starting at $25 to $40. In one post, the villain says, "Are you tired of your partner thinking you're weak? I can help you prove them wrong. It's all just an act, like WWE. No one gets hurt. I am the only loser." It isn't just harassing women. He says he's willing to pester men for female clients, too. But there is some risk. Malaysia has some strict sexual harassment laws, so there could be signs of trouble if things go awry. You can't get this here in the United States. You can get this in Malaysia, though.
Huh. Well, I don't, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So, the idea of paying someone so I can, beat the crap out of him just to prove a point to the person I love, I think I'll save my money.
Yeah,
I'll go to the Dollar. I'll go to Five Below or buy her something nice instead.
But you could do this the other way around. Let's say you're out with somebody, you don't want to be with them.
Yeah.
Have this guy start harassing her and then back away like you're like this big giant puss that doesn't want to.
On the surface, that sounds like a terrific idea. And under normal circumstances, I'd be totally on board. But in this world of social media and viral videos, you're going to gain that reputation as a big old-fashioned Nancy for the rest of your life if you don't stand up to the guy harassing your lady friend.
You know what?
Do you really want that hanging over your head?
I've resorted to going on dates by myself. My ideal date is sitting in my minivan, eating a home wrecker from the Autumn Mist farm by myself and feeling very satisfied after the meal. Because the portions are so large. And listen, I only spent money on myself. I didn't have to spend money on anybody else.
No one was going to sexually harass you when they saw how you packed on a gigantic sausage.
That's right. A gigantic sausage so big it has been labeled the home wrecker.
Hello, honey. I've been watching you from afar. Knock down that big sausage.
Oh, look at you, sticking that big hot dog in your mouth.
What is that, ketchup all over that thing?
Is that the Carrie Underwood special before he meets? He's got the meat sheets over there. Look at him.
I love a man who meat sweats.
Meat sweats. I love the meat sweats. I got some roast beef churning up some moisture down below, if you know what I'm saying. Who's ready for the Arby's party? Horsey sauce from all. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 35. Going to be windy this afternoon, and if you believe the meteorologists, we're going to have anywhere from 6 to 500 inches of snow by Sunday morning. It's 32 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 103.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay, where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:52 and AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I don't know. It's going to be something out there today.
The Australian Pink Floyd show is coming to Mohegan Sun on September 18th. And here we are in February already talking about it. And we want to send you to the show. Pat Kelly this week has been giving you a chance to win tickets. That's coming up later on today. For more details, go to rock102.com/concerts from Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Well, we got anything going on over there?
Well, we got Open Line Friday coming up. Last week we had an Open Line Thursday. I thought it went fairly well, considering we were kind of taking you off your game a little bit by doing it a whole day early. Today, I would like to think that some effort would be put into Open Line Friday. No foul language, no hate speech, try not to act like a dink. The last few weeks, we've had people ignore the third rule, and we've had wall-to-wall nonstop dinkage. Now, I would like to eliminate some of that if we can. So if you're planning on calling for open lines, have something at least prepared. That's right. I'm talking to you, Macadamian. Let's try to prepare something before we go, as opposed to like all the improv you want to do.
Yeah, that bothers me.
Which part?
Don't you know who it is? And then it's like this Q&A, and it doesn't go anywhere, and
I know,
it just falls flat. And
he's got to maybe maybe workshop some of the questions first, and then we will move on to the next caller without issue.
Like Dave Coombs was more well spoken than some of these people that call up here. I know, isn't it? See, that's how bad it gets.
That's brutal.
That's
man.
how bad
insult
it gets.
Anyway, that's coming up in just a little bit. And Joe Bonamassa tickets next hour or two.
All right.
Okay.
Looking forward. Hey, by the way, if you're in France, how many times do you wear a shirt before you wash it?
Depends on how long I wore it for.
It also depends on not only how long you wore it for, but skin-to-skin contact. If I'm wearing like a flannel shirt with a shirt underneath, depending on how B.O.y you get,
right,
you can wear the flannel again the next day.
But you wouldn't want to wear the undershirt.
No, but so probably I'd say every other day. If you're wearing the undershirt, you definitely got to change out.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
It absorbs all the stank off you.
But people online are making fun of France for telling its people to wear their shirt 5 times.
5 times?
They're French. It's not like they clean themselves.
I realize they're very stinky people. But, 5 times?
Yeah,
that's an outrage.
They also say to wear bras 7 times in between washes. Workout clothes 3 times?
No. If you're getting all juicy at the gym, one and done. I'm not wearing that a second time.
Pajamas for a week.
No.
And jeans for a month.
Hell no.
You're not even supposed to wash jeans. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't conform to that. I'll wear a pair of jeans, a couple days.
Yeah.
But they're going to get washed.
But again, depending on what you've done. If you went like on an airline, like a trip, like a plane trip, you're definitely going to wash those clothes as soon as you get to your hotel or wherever destination you're going to, because you've just been stuck on a pill in the sky.
Yeah.
Everybody breathing on each other and all that dust flying around. You're definitely going to want to wash your clothes then.
Do the French have any opinion about your drawers, your underpants?
No. The advice comes from the Ecological Transition Agency, which is like their EPA. They want people to stop doing so much laundry because it's bad for the environment and ruins your clothes.
Okay, but when it comes to physically smelling bad,
yeah,
it's always been my feeling to say the hell with the environment and to hell with it ruining my clothes. I don't want to be wearing stuff that stinks.
There's an old stereotype that French people weren't the cleanest. Yeah, stereotype.
Yeah, you know what has led up to that belief?
Yeah.
History.
Right.
And tradition.
But recent surveys have found that they have better hygiene than most of Europe. I don't know. I've smelled some pretty clean Spaniards in my life, but never a Frenchman.
I know the Portuguese, my people, are very cleanly. Once we've been scaling fish all day, you have to bathe. You got to be washed down.
When you can smell that BO and garlic off a Greek, you know that
you gotta.
Well, it's the French rubbing off on them. That's what happened.
I don't want any Frenchmen rubbing off on me.
Well, there's not as many as there used to be.
That's the truth. Yeah. It's 7:57 at Rock 102.
Live.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:10 in Rush with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be, I don't know, windy or something like that. Dan Brown will tell you later on in the hour because he's the accurate one. But
yeah, that's right.
But how about we dive into something really cool now?
And now, live from the Richard Grieco Studios in East Long Meadow, Massachusetts, it's Open Line Friday!
Meow, meow. All right, 413-293-1021. That's the number to call for Open Line Friday. It's They were, of course, brought to you by Linton Septic. Call during open lines. Give us crap. Linton Septic will make sure that it all gets pumped out when we leave.
Well, hopefully they can clean up the airwaves here this morning.
Well, I hope so, Steve. It's the only way we're going to get through any of this. Now, here are the rules. No foul language. No hate speech. And most importantly, try not to act like a dink. I think some of you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Many of you dink offenders need to be given a little update. Little refresher on what that means. Anyway, waiting for the phone calls to roll in, and they will. Here we go.
Here they come.
All right. Rock 102, good morning. Who's this?
Dylan from Ludlow.
Hey, Dylan. What's up?
I was just calling because everybody's worried about the winter storm, like they don't live in New England and haven't lived in New England. Winter storms are nothing for us.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for backing up my theory that nobody really knows what they're talking about. Are you scared of a little snow?
I'm not. I used to live on Lake Erie in winter, so snow here is nothing compared to what I'm used to.
Absolutely. Lake Erie, you get dumped on 8 inches a day.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
When I was in Syracuse, we had lake effect snow all the time.
All right, Dylan.
All right.
Thank you very
thanks,
much
Dylan.
for your time. We appreciate it. Rock. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, here we go. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Dink.
Hey, Dink. What's up?
Not too much, man. Just calling saying welcome to the new day, Western Mass. We love you, and have a good one, everybody.
Hey, thank you. Nicely put. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Frank Costanza. You think you can keep us out of Florida? We're moving in lock, stock, and barrel. We're going to be in the pool. We're going to be in the clubhouse. We're going to be all over that shuffleboard court, and I dare you to keep me out.
Very good.
Nicely
Frank.
done. Nicely done. Well put. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Bill from Southtown down here in Connecticut.
What's up, Bill?
Hey, I heard you guys talking the other day about high-priced dog food.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dog that lived for like 18 years. That dog received Calcan, Alpo, table scrap. The dog just lived a great life.
Yeah, he lived a long time because he was waiting for that one good meal.
Well, he'd get it once in a while.
Yeah, probably wake up in the morning and say, I think today is the day I'm going to get some real high-quality food. And what does he get? Another open can of Alpo. Lucky him.
Alpo. Top grind Alpo. Hey, I just wanted to give you guys kudos, though, because back with that story of the guy letting it hang out at Walgreens, Nagle gave the town Southington, and very few people say that. I don't know if he's familiar with the town, but kudos to you for getting that one correct.
Oh, well,
right.
I'm learning my Connecticut cities and towns and hamlets.
Yes. Have a good one,
All
guys.
right, you too. Thank you. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Mike the Lawn Guy.
Hey, Mike the Lawn Guy. What's up?
Hey, this is going back a week, but I had a good story relating to the conversation you were having about bioengineered penises from the future.
Yes.
First, I wanted to answer Steve Nagle's question, and the answer is yes. Men with large packages are well aware that we have them.
I'm sure,
really?
I'm sure you do.
Sure.
It can make us, you're right, it can make us arrogant, it can make us full of ourselves, it can make us downright cocky, Steve. It really can.
All right.
Very, very cocky.
Glad you're very confident in yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so when I was in my 20s, I used to bartend at this college bar. One night, this girl's in there, and she's saying she's majoring in anatomy. And according to studies, she said, it's Native American men that actually have the longest penises, Jewish men that have the most girth, and guys of French descent in Louisiana, like the Creole guys, that have the most stamina. Then
Really?
she asked me my name, and I say, then she asked me my name, and I said Tonto Goldstein, but back on the bayou, they call me Bubba. Guys, have a good weekend.
Yeah,
Good
you too,
penis
Mike
joke.
the Long
There
Guy.
you go.
Enjoy.
Perfect. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, boys. It's Vince the Plumber. Happy Friday.
Vince
Hey,
the
Vince.
Plumber.
What's
What's
up?
up?
Hey, not much, man. Just wanted to say happy Friday. You know, I can't wait for this huge storm on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already rushing. I'm rushing to the market right now to try to find some eggs, some milk, some bread, mainly rice too, lots of rice.
Need rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? I gotta throw out a big shout out to my good buddy at work, David. He's a good guy. He was out there the other day shoveling at the yard and stuff. I helped him out. He's just a good guy. I gotta tell everybody. David from the stockroom, great guy.
Sounds like you got a thing for David.
Hey, you know what? He is an older guy. Hey, you never know.
Hey, don't crap where you don't crap where you eat, Vince.
Hey, don't knock the old guys. There's nothing wrong with those old dudes.
No, definitely not. No, he's just a good guy, and just wanted to a big shout out to him. He doesn't get enough appreciation, I think.
All right. Well, we appreciate it,
All right,
Vince.
boys, have a great weekend.
All right.
Okay. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
It's the Hawkman calling.
What's up,
Hawkman?
I just want to give a big shout out to my buddy Josh, who works for the East Long Meadow DPW.
Okay.
And I have a thing for Mr. Nagle. I know what you can call yourself for the weather.
What am I going to call myself for my new weather forecast I'll be making on TikTok?
Steve Nagle, the Weather Whiz.
The Weather Whiz. All right.
That's
might have to workshop that a little bit, but we'll go.
We'll get some people together to talk that through.
All right, sounds good. And go Chiefs.
Okay.
All right, go
All
Chiefs.
Right. Have a good weekend. Rock 102. Good morning. Come on, Matt. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Ed from Huntington. How we all doing, fellas?
Good, Ed. What's up?
All right, not too much, man. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my people over there at Arbrook Village in the kitchen and all that good stuff. They all do good work out there. But I'm actually just calling too because go Eagles this weekend, baby.
You're going with the Eagles, huh?
That's it, baby. I'm going with the Eagles and I'm going with mustard on my hot dog.
Are the folks in the kitchen at Armbrook Village going to cook up you some snacks so you can take home with you?
Oh, they certainly will, man. They certainly will, man. There's good food over there.
But everything is mashed and pureed for the folks that live there.
So everybody can eat it.
Doesn't mean it's not delicious. All right, well, good luck.
All right, my friend. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Mark from West Springfield.
What's up, Mark from West Springfield?
I got a couple of shout-outs to do. Vince the Plumber, Billy Bob from Bay State, You Talking to Me, George from Agawam, Hawkman, Mike the Lawn Guy, Mike Jones, Scott Cohen, Scott Zolak, Macadamian, Marty Caproni, Fitzy, Dave Coombs, Joe Barbosa, Doug Master Plumber from UMass, Amherst, Aaron, Lenny, Rock 102 Receptionist, Bobby Kester, and finally John O'Brien.
Hey, how come?
Thank you.
How come of all the calls you've ever put to this radio station, that's the only one that I actually liked?
I got no idea.
I can't imagine
all right,
why.
to the two phonies on the morning show. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Rock 102.
That's the guy. That's the guy we've been talking about.
Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Brian from Springfield. How you guys doing?
Good, Brian. What's up?
Hey, I got a joke for you. I mentioned it to Steve the other week, but I'm not sure if he told it to you yet.
What? What was it?
Well, it's just in time for the big game on Sunday. So let's put it that way. So the Patriots were not able to cut the mustard this year, so they could no longer hold the mayo.
All right.
Yeah. That's a condiment joke. I got it. Nice.
Yeah. They've been so bad these past couple of years. It makes me wonder if they'll ever catch up.
Listen to you. All right. Well,
I'll say this: if they are able to rebuild, I'd certainly relish it.
That never ends with you. All right. Thank you very much for the call.
Yep. You have a good day.
You too.
Okay. Let's take another one here. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
You talking to me?
Hey, there we go. What's up?
It's George from Agawam.
Hey, George.
So, tagging on to that Mark the Lawn Guy, you probably didn't know this about me, but I got a tattoo on my nether regions, and it's only appropriate. It says tiny, but when I'm fully aroused, it says Ticonderoga, New York.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, George. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thanks so much. Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Rock 102, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Chuck from West Hartford.
What's up, Chuck?
Well, I wanted to call, maybe bring up this humor of the show to a little bit more of a highbrow level and tell you a bit of a limerick.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. We like limericks.
Well, I don't think you know what humor is. You can't even spell humor right. You take the U out of it.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
All right, limerick
So
away.
there once was a woman from Dallas. She loved to use dynamite as a phallus. They found her vagina in North Carolina, and they found her bum in Buckingham Palace.
I see.
There you go.
All right.
How about
the
that?
limerick guy. How about that? I think we're
not bad.
I think we can maybe use this guy.
Oh, nicely played on that one. All right, well, thank you.
Are you gentlemen going to watch the big game this weekend?
Yes.
I'm going to watch Patrick Mahomes because he resembles a ballet dancer sashaying around during the Nutcracker.
Okay.
Well, that'll be a good show then.
All right. Well, good to know.
Good morrow, gentlemen.
All right. Top of the day to you.
It wouldn't be the
All
first
right.
time a caller disappointed us.
Okay. One more, maybe? Let's try to.
Yeah, let's
okay.
try to.
Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this? Okay. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Next.
Hey.
Next. Okay. Sorry, we're out of time.
Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is Smitty in the boiler room.
Oh,
Not
Smitty.
your boiler room.
What's up, Smitty?
Hey, yeah, about the weatherman, with Nag, man. Yeah, it's the only job that, man, you could be 100% wrong and never get reprimanded, never getting written up.
Yeah, you're
never
right.
get suspended. Right, you're right. But I will say, hey, Nag, man, you did sound like a Karen this morning, though, but it was justified, though. It was justified, but yeah, you're wrong, though, man. You're definitely
I
wrong.
sound like a Karen to you?
Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
so?
whining. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Get off
But, hey,
my
it was
phone!
justified. Yeah, it was justified, though. It was justified. It was
Yeah, you're
justified.
damn right it was justified.
All right.
Don't get mad now. Don't get
Meteorologists suck.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
there's a very successful open line Friday.
Define successful.
Well, it's we started it and we ended it.
Yeah.
Success.
I like that guy who says man a lot.
Yeah, right.
What is that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to the folks at Linden Septic. If you need to be pumped out,
Yeah.
they're your
I
guys.
think that guy's second question is sponsorship.
824 on Rock 102 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Dan Brown will have the full inaccurate forecast for you.
Hey, it is a Shop Friday here on Rock 102. And this morning at 9 o'clock, if you go to rock102.com, you can save 30% off to Bread Euphoria at the Northampton Williamsburg line. There's something in the air. That's sourdough crust pizza, the croissants, the smell of bread, the baguettes, the New York rye. It's Euphoria. Bread Euphoria Bakery and Cafe. That starts at 9 o'clock in the Shop 30 store, rock102.com. Do not miss out. 30% off at the Bread Euphoria. Okay?
I like bread.
I like bread, too.
I like feeling euphoric.
I don't mind it.
I would like to have a bread euphoria.
Let's head on up.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, why not?
We got what are you cooking? Do you have a snack in mind that you're cooking for the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I mean, I got kind of got an itch for some things, but then I don't want to work that hard for it. Well, simplicity is probably the way it's going to be.
All right, nationwide, the top 5 dips people are searching for: buffalo chicken dip,
easy,
7-layer dip.
Do you need all 7 layers to really enjoy that kind of dip?
No, jalapeno popper dip. That
Yeah, that's
actually
good.
sounds pretty
That's
good. Crab dip. That's too expensive.
I don't need that.
And queso. I don't like crab. Everybody says crab, even like fresh crab. Oh, it's so good. I'm not on that bandwagon of buying something so expensive. Then to mix it with a bunch of cheese. If it's supposed to be that good, it should be good on its own, and it's not.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I find crab to be a little overrated.
Yeah,
I'll take a
too.
lobster over a crab any day.
Yeah, and you know why it's so expensive? Because of that stupid show that they came out with the crab. The price went up when that show came out.
Right.
What is it called? What is it? What was the name of that show? The king crab fishing show. Alaskan.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They're Alaskan king crab,
like the
fishing.
big catch or whatever the hell it is.
Whatever
Yeah.
the hell. Deadliest catch.
Deadliest catch.
Yeah,
you know, to be honest with you, I mean, like, but if someone says, "Oh, I got king crab legs," I'm like, "You got some shrimp or some steaks or something?" I'd rather have that.
Yeah, Mr. Moneybags with the king crab legs.
But it's not even about the price. It's to me the taste isn't that great. Where I'm like going, I'm gonna freak out about it.
But to me, it is about the price. It's about the price of something that's not that great. If it was a high-priced item and it also tasted absolutely delicious, then maybe I might be inclined to buy one. You need more, but you need like 10 of them.
Yeah,
and that's where the priciness comes in. I don't want to do that. Top 10 appetizers: Philly cheesesteak sliders.
Why not just make a big, one big Philly cheesesteak sandwich and let that be it?
Yes, you could.
Sliders to me are like a tease.
Hawaiian roll sliders.
No, I'm all right.
Pigs in a blanket.
I do love those.
I like more pigs in a throw than I do. I've dated a few of those.
I like a pig in an area rug.
Yeah, pig in an area rug. That's when you get rid of them. First they're in your blanket, then they're in a throw, and then they're out the door into the snow. Cowboy caviar. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And potato skins. Top search cocktail recipes are for jungle juice.
You want to be up at least to see who wins the game.
I was gonna say
you don't want to be passing out by before the halftime.
Old fashions? Who's drinking old fashions during a football game? It's beer or whiskey. I mean, it's two simple ingredients.
You know, an old fashioned is never going to be my first choice, but I don't mind it when I'm having it.
Espresso martini. This must be like chick Googling stuff.
Yeah, this is
for the dudes.
Dudes aren't doing this.
Other random things that are trending: charcuterie boards. That's too much work. Football shaped cookies and Kansas City foods. And finally, they saw a few search terms that always peak this time of year: buffalo wings,
no kidding,
nachos, sliders, and beer cheese. That's a spread that's popular in Kentucky.
Beer cheese?
Yeah.
I make beer cheese. It's good.
Do you?
Yeah, I've made beer cheese a couple of times.
Do you make it with beer?
With actual beer, sure.
What kind of beer, though? Does it have to be a certain kind?
It doesn't have to be a certain kind. It doesn't even have to be an expensive beer.
It could just be like goat pee, like the Coors Light or something like that?
I would want to have something that has flavor in it, but yeah, no, beer cheese is delicious.
All right, but you're not saying go buy a $25 growler of some high end.
No, you really only need like one can or one bottle of beer to really do it.
Like a Guinness?
You could,
or are you doing more like a lager?
More of a lager. I mean, Guinness is a little heavy and dark for that.
A Lowenbrau?
If you could find a Lowenbrau, that probably would be delicious.
What about a Schlitz?
I don't mind a little Schlitz in my cheese.
Yeah, I was going to say, you ever have a little cheese in your Schlitz?
I have, in fact, and it's delicious.
Yeah, but you should clean yourself if you get cheese in your Schlitz. That's really something important.
We got news next on Rock 102.
Here's your...
With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102, it's time for news brought to you by Gary Rum Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRumHyundai.com/family. There's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Oh my God, there's more snow coming this weekend! Western Massachusetts saw some snow yesterday morning, but there's more on the way for the weekend.
Now, I didn't watch the news last night, so I don't know if they did this, but did somebody in local news go outside with a yardstick to measure what was on the ground? And did they at any point grab the snow off the ground to show people at home what snow looks like?
I don't think they had a stick that reads in centimeters because they were predicting inches, but just like every other weatherman out there predicting more than what they actually have. And I'm not just singling out one weather person. I'm singling them all out.
Well, I mean, if Lapis tells you he's got a certain number of inches, I'm never going to believe him.
Did you see my TikTok video?
I didn't see. No, I actually did not get a chance to watch it.
There was enough snow that covered some of the leaves that were in my yard.
Okay. All right. Okay, then.
I think they were predicting a little bit more than that.
They said 3 to 5 inches.
Yeah? I didn't even get maybe an inch and a half.
I would say we got a good solid inch, but then we got that little candy covering of ice afterwards. There was some ice.
Makes it crunchy.
It was crunchy. You know, I cleared off my wife's car because she got a snow day yesterday.
Yeah.
I cleared off my wife's car this morning, and it did have a candy covering. It was crunchy.
But you were able to easily clean it off. It wasn't like it was
simple.
Ridiculously hard.
No,
it wasn't anything like they said it was going to be. This is why I don't even know if I believe them for Saturday night into Sunday evening. A winter storm watch is in effect for Saturday evening into Sunday afternoon for all of western Massachusetts. A wind advisory will be happening all day today until 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 1 to 4 p.m. or 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Berkshire County, which will be over by 4 o'clock.
Thankfully, I'm not going there.
While the snow ended Thursday, it won't be long until it's back. We're tracking the chance of a plowable snow event from Saturday night into Sunday this weekend. A chance.
That doesn't sound very positive to me.
That doesn't sound very accurate. How can you call yourself AccuWeather or First Alert or Storm Teams?
They should call themselves nearly AccuWeather. Almost AccuWeather.
This is going to form from 2 pieces of energy. I'm feeling like that guy who's that guy that gets locked out in the woods and he's always picking up like ants and he's like, this is energy.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
This is going to form from 2 pieces of energy coming together over the Ohio River Valley and forming into an area of low pressure that moves off to the mid-Atlantic Saturday night. We expect snow to fall Saturday night into Sunday, which could be several inches.
Or could be nothing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The hype over this stuff. I get it. You might see some plowable snow. This isn't the first time we've seen anything like that.
Oh, no. New England has never had snowy conditions, ever. In 500 years, we've never seen any snow. Except that big one in 1978.
That one, yeah, everybody remembers that.
That's the big one.
Well, when looking at the season, not including Thursday's snow, we have 13.2 inches. Oh, I'm sorry, it went to 13.3 yesterday. 13.2 inches on the season at Westover and Chicopee. Typically, this time of year, we have an average of 30 inches of snow for the season.
And we're freaked out about another year in a row with hardly any snow.
We were talking about this yesterday. When was the last time we had like a significant amount of snow? And it turns out it was like 2015. It was 10 years ago. So how do you keep saying the average is 30 inches? The average is 30 inches of what? From the last 50 years?
The time frame would be important there. But I would say like in the last 5 to 10 years, we're well below 30 inches of snow.
And
below.
There's been times where, you're told nothing is going to happen, and all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 inches on the ground.
That they didn't expect. That's happened before.
Oh, we didn't expect that. You have all this like equipment. Who's this Doppler person? What's this Doppler thing that you're looking at?
You remember back in the October ice storms in 2011?
Oh, do I?
Oh, those are the big ones.
Those are the big days.
Not a I may be wrong about this, but my recollection is not a single meteorologist anywhere predicted an ice storm in October that caused as much damage as that thing did. No one predicted. They had no idea. Next thing you know, trees are falling. People are losing electricity for days at a time. Your gutters are being destroyed.
Yeah,
they totally missed it.
Yeah, I think
much like they totally missed the big one back in 1978. No one thought that was going to amount to much either, and it wound up being the biggest damn storm that many of us have ever seen in our lives.
I remember in 1996 there was a significant snowfall. I believe in like March or April.
Yep,
that was a pretty significant one.
April Fool's Day. I think we had like
that's
11,
right. It was April
11
Fool's
inches.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah,
I wasn't prepared for that.
And when I was in Syracuse, we had the blizzard of 1993. Did you get any of that?
I wasn't in the area in 1993.
All right. So in 1993, that was the first time they deflated the Carrier Dome up in Syracuse because of the snow was so heavy. It was like 30 inches of snow. It was crazy. And they had
I've seen some deflated people in the Carrier Dome before.
Oh yeah, many a times.
Losing big games. In the conference.
Yeah.
Those Big East games can really kick in the face.
Well, that'll definitely get you. But I remember that, and I remember not having school for like almost a week, which was unusual for that area because even in like 6-7 inches of snow, they would still have school,
right?
Because they'd be prepared for it.
I don't know.
This is crazy. I've spent most of the morning.
I mean, you've been trashing the entire meteorological industry all morning long, and you know what? Very few people coming to their defense right now.
I got to take a breath. When Dan Brown is living in my head rent-free, that's when you know this show has jumped the shark.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, as you probably heard, President Trump's going to the Super Bowl, right? He'll be the first sitting president to attend the big game. And the other day, Travis weighed in. Travis Kelce, that is.
Yeah, right. Not Travis the monkey.
No. He said, no matter who the president is, I know I'm excited because it's the biggest game of my life. It's a great honor having the president there. It's the best country in the world, and that's pretty cool. Well, some Swifties are not happy with that. They're pissed.
Because he's going to take away some of her shine?
Yeah. They're mad. Well, no, they're mad at Travis Kelce for not saying, not like saying, I'm glad that my girlfriend's going to be there. You're pissing off the Swifties.
Your girlfriend's at every game.
Yeah.
That'd be like saying, I forgot to mention that Andy Reid will be my coach again this week.
And the fact that Donald Trump had written on his Truth Social, I hate Taylor Swift. So they're saying, well, how can you love a guy who hates your girlfriend? How can you be excited that somebody's there?
There's lots of people that don't really like your girlfriend, Travis. I don't know anybody personally because she's a bright ray of sunshine.
Well, I mean, these 18 bracelets I have on my my arms say otherwise.
Yeah. Right.
Another said, quote, if my boyfriend said it's a great honor to have the man that slanders me constantly, I'd break up with him immediately.
Yeah,
listen, when there's billions of dollars involved, I think love really kind of gets put on the back burner.
I'm pretty sure that Travis Kelce shows his appreciation to Taylor Swift in much other ways.
As somebody said,
this weekend is about him. Every other weekend can be about her.
Somebody said she doesn't even want to be the center of attention. She just wants to support Travis and help him focus on the game.
That's right.
How can he focus on the game when she's there during almost every other camera shot that they're going to be doing during the Super Bowl?
He's focused.
How many times do you think they're going to show her during the Super Bowl?
Did we, was that one of our prop bets, how many times she's going to get shown?
Well, no, it was who was the first celebrity going to be shown, whether it's going to be him, her, or Trump. Oh, and then it was like any celebrity.
Yeah.
Like,
I think she'll be shown first. I'm going to say she'll be shown on camera at least 7 times.
What do you think? Who do you think the least famous celebrity will be shown on camera?
The least?
Yeah.
Actor Steve Guttenberg.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, nobody recognized him during that interview that he had with that news reporter out when
the forest fires.
When the fires were going on.
Was wildfires?
Yeah.
He was saving lives and protecting property. He's a hero. But I'm willing to bet you if they show him on screen, no one's going to know who the hell he is.
Listen, I've already watched the commercials. I don't care who's in the Super Bowl or who's going to be shown on camera. I may watch 30 minutes of it because I got it free on Tubi now.
I'm going to watch the whole damn thing.
I've seen all the commercials, and they all suck.
Maybe you're just not able to be satisfied, Steve. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Like, even if you're not a fan of football, it's a Super Bowl. It's like you gotta watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's like, remember they told us like a couple of years ago when we went to the Bax, Steve and Dave show, and then that guy from corporate was listening in.
Yeah,
and he said, "Yeah, but you really should have had more emphasis on." I don't even know the Grammys, maybe or something.
The Grammys, yes.
Yeah. I'm like, well, is there that many people watching the Grammys that we need to talk about it?
No, but everybody's, you got to at least acknowledge it.
But there's no teams that I have any interest in. I don't really care about seeing Taylor Swift or the president on TV during a game.
If people took that kind of attitude, okay, then nobody would have seen the wardrobe malfunction that was so wonderful from Janet Jackson.
I did the next day.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To see it live, it was so much better.
No.
Because they didn't cover it up. It was not pixeled out.
And that was 22 years ago when that happened.
And I haven't forgotten it ever since.
But if something weird happens, it's going to be all over the internet.
But it won't be pixeled out.
Huh?
It won't be pixeled out.
What?
If you see it live.
It won't be pixeled out on the internet.
Oh, man.
People are going to have the raw video because I like it raw.
You like it raw?
I like it raw.
I like it raw.
All right, I'm all out of hot air this morning. It's 32 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our...
Go to Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:54, and Bon Jovi with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I don't know. Anywhere from 1 to 600 inches over the weekend.
We didn't get a chance to talk about this. See the story about the UMass student that a UMass women's basketball game had a chance to win $10,000. Needed to make 4 shots. Had to do a layup, foul shot, 3-point shot, and a half-court shot. Dude makes them all.
All of them.
Except, here's the problem. Mm-hmm. He didn't win the $10,000.
Because?
His foot was just on the line at the half-court portion of the court. So he was like just over the line. And so the insurance company that backed up this contest said, no, you didn't win. Because you're supposed to be behind the half-court line.
Oh, wow, an insurance company not paying out anything.
Yeah, I know. Hard
to believe that would happen.
Hard to imagine. So rather than win $10,000, he wins the consolation prize
of
a 4-person suite for a men's game, courtside seats for another women's basketball game, some food, a swag bag. It's not $10,000, but for a college student, I guess it'll do.
So it's like the guy who didn't win the Rock 102 Man Shed a couple of years ago. The runner-up got Deerfield Craft Fair tickets.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that's the consolation prize.
Yes. You want a koozie and Deerfield Craft Fair tickets.
There should be like a happy medium in between the prizes. It's kind of like you ever play the mass cash game with the lottery.
Yeah.
If you get it's 5 numbers. And if you get 4 out of 5 numbers, well, if you get 5 numbers, it's $100,000.
Sure.
If you get 4 out of 5 numbers, how much do you think that is?
$500.
$250.
That's it.
That is a giant gap. I mean, that's like almost getting to the big dance of the $100,000. It should be at least $10,000 or $5,000.
Well, this young fella is apparently going to attempt to lodge a complaint with the insurance company. He's going to appeal this decision.
Oh, good luck with all that. It'll probably cost him $10,000 for a lawyer and court fees. To get an insurance company to pay out a premium.
Yeah, UMass senior Noah Lee is going to learn a very quick lesson or two about how insurance companies work.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yes, well, enjoy your consolation prize there, Noah. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. Hey, speaking of winning stuff, Joe Bonamassa is coming to Foxwoods at the Premier Theater on Saturday, March 1st for an 8 o'clock show. If you don't know nothing about Joe Bonamassa, guy is awesome. And we happen to have tickets to that show. 10th caller right now at 293-1021. Tickets to see Joe Bonamassa on Rock 102.
There you go.
Hey, it's Pat Kelly, and I want you to win my camping gear. Rock